As you know, today, National Signing Day, and Michigan included in that. And we are pleased to have Michigan wide receiver Jacob Washington on the line joining us here tonight. Jacob, how are you?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great. It's been a fun day, down in Ann Arbor, and then uh, all of the Michigan recruits making it official, yourself included, listening to Sharon Moore talk about all you guys. It's a fun day for Michigan fans. What was the day like for you?
Man, it was a phenomenal day. I mean, it's almost surreal. Just all the hard work that went into this moment, and just enjoying it with family and friends. It was a great day.
Your position coach, Ron Bellamy, I know he is from Louisiana, right from your high school there. So there's the connection. Was that something that led to your interest initially in Michigan, or did you have interest before that?
I definitely had interest before that. Just coming off the national championship win, and then seeing what they did years before that with just the winning culture there. I was definitely interested in Michigan before Ron Bellamy, but having him as a coach up there, that was like the connection that I needed, like the relationship, and I mean, it meant a lot to me in my recruiting process.
Yeah, Ron. I think one day Ron's going to be a head coach. He comes off to me talking with him. He's a straight shooter, and he just lays all the cards right out on the table, and he'll tell you, kind of exactly what you not what you necessarily want to hear, what you need to hear. He kind of tells you, everything that's going on there, and you don't have to guess on where he's at. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, tell me, now that you went through the process and you're going to be a Michigan Wolverine, what are you looking forward to? When are you coming up? Are you going to be an early enrollee, anything like that?
I'm actually going to be enrolling in the summer, so I'm going to have an off season before I get up there in the summer, and I'm gonna take this off season extremely serious, just intense working out and getting my body prepared mentally and physically for the challenges up in Ann Arbor, and I'm gonna be ready when I get on campus.
Tell me. I look at your film. I see your measurements. I heard Sharon Moore. He lit up when he was talking about you. He said, you're tall, you're big, and you're fast. I mean, all the kind of things you'd like to hear. If you're talking about a wide receiver. So I mean, you have the prototypical size, and you have great speed. I mean, you just talked about working on whatever your technique and your in your body and everything to get ready. I mean, you seem like you're pretty close to being good to go right now.
Yeah, you like to think so, but just I'm gonna be just focused on getting prepared. Just learning the playbook. Just a lot of mental and physical things that come with playing the game. So I'm gonna take those slowly and surely, and just maximize my opportunity while before I get on campus.
What's the training like? Who do you lean on there? I go back, Jerry Rice, the great wide receiver for the 49ers, used to bring guys out to these hills in San Francisco, and they would like run up this hill. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. And the guys said, oh, they thought they knew what conditioning was and training was until they hung out with Jerry Rice. What kind of training regimen do you go through?
I train with a couple of different trainers down here in New Orleans. One her name is Coach Robbie Green. He's a phenomenal trainer down here, and he really takes pride in just knowing the kids he trains and being a positive impact for them, as well as Albert Brock. And he's a speed guy. That's I credit him to my speed and agility. And we run a lot of hills up here. The levees are no joke down here.
Well, I've never been to New Orleans, but I do know the song about the levee break-in. And in Louisiana, Southern Louisiana, you've had, whether it's been in college or pro, there's been an incredible amount of wide receivers to look up to, in your formative years there. Which ones have you liked the most?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my favorite top two out of New Orleans area is Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. I mean, those two, they're killing it in the NFL right now. I mean, you see it. I mean, we all see it. They're doing their thing in the NFL. So it's great to just see those guys from the same area as me. And, I look up to those guys.
Well, I look up to those guys too. My friend has them on their fantasy team, and I followed I followed his MO, and I took Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr., and I'm pretty happy about it too. I mean, there's a lot of good wide receivers down there in the New Orleans area. Tell me, your teammate Jasper Parker is a running back. He is also heading north to be a Michigan Wolverine. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. He is.
Well, go ahead, and I noticed that it can be difficult talking about yourself and what you can do out there on the football field. Give us a scouting report on your teammate in Jasper Parker, the running back that's coming up to Michigan as well.
Yeah, so I'll say about Jasper. I mean, we're basically family at this point. I mean, we've known each other so long. But Jasper on the football field, he's an efficient runner. He's an all-purpose back. He can catch it out the backfield. He can take it on the sideline, and he can run it up the middle. I mean, he's just a great running back, and he makes it easy for me as a receiver. Just run a couple of times, opens up the pass.
Jacob, I got to ask you, when you first committed to Michigan, it was one of these situations where, they had a quarterback and they had a quarterback committed, but mostly, you look at the national championship last year, it was Michigan. They were talking about, smash football, and it wasn't throw the ball all over the lot. And, I hear Ron Bellamy talk, he was saying, guys have to really block, and, they really have to enjoy that part of it. And so you committed into all that. And then the weeks and months unfolded, and lo and behold, like this prodigy of a quarterback ends up committing to Michigan, and a guy that can throw the ball 80 yards with a flip of the wrist. And, everyone around here is really excited about him because he, lives 35 minutes down the road. And I'm talking about Bryce Underwood. And, you're a big-bodied, fast wide receiver. It's like you're going to be the recipient of this, this great quarterback. Well, what was that like for you, watching all of this unfold while you're already coming to Ann Arbor?
Yeah. So I mean, early in the recruiting process, I was sure and confident in Coach Jerome Moore that he would bring in the right guys in the class, and we would build something special. So I mean, just adding Bryce Underwood, I mean, elite level quarterback, that's huge for me, being a receiver and being on the other end of his passes. Yeah,
and when you think about it, I mean, the part where I was talking about getting out there and blocking, you have to I don't know, enjoy that, but you have to embrace that part of college ball, and you did that knowing that you were going to come up here, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's all just a part of the game. I mean, receivers at the highest level in the NFL, they fill up the block and do what it takes to win. So I'm all about winning, win. So I mean, if I got to block the whole,
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do. Tell me about, I saw some of the track times. Are you going to continue to run track? Do you enjoy that part? And, are you going to do that in the days that you have left in high school here?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be running track just to, improve my times that are out there from a year or two ago, and just continue to build on my speed and bring that to the next level.
What's your favorite race to run?
Definitely the 100. I mean, it's a quick race, so it's great.
The 100's the true test of a speed guy.
Yeah.
And there's that's what I've heard. I don't know if I could run 100 yards right now myself. Tell me, I mean, I think I could probably run 100, but what's your best time? What do you want to get to? What would you, if you say, yeah, this is an attainable goal, this is what I want, this is what I can do right now when it comes to the 100-yard dash?
Yeah, great question. Well, what I see for myself is definitely running at 10.7 to 10.8, that range. That's what I see for myself.
That sounds blazing fast to me, Jacob, and I can't wait to see you up here in Ann Arbor. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in the maize and blue sooner than later. And have yourself a great night here on signing day. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Pleasure talking to you too. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care.
Take care. Go Blue.
There he is, Jacob Washington, joining us here on National Signing Day. There's a picture of him that we have up on the screen at the big house, standing right there at midfield. And I got to say this, I've been covering Michigan football for 30 years, and talking to, I don't know, half dozen players today, to a man, these guys sound like pros already. They sound like, I remember when I was first talking with recruits, and they sounded like 16, 17-year-old kids in high school. The guys now, they are so polished, they sound so smart, they already sound like I said, that they're professionals, and they're physically they're ready to go. And then when you listen to them, they sound like they just are on point, being able to handle the questions and handle everything else. And that's not across the board, but so far with Michigan, it has been. And I've enjoyed that part. Thanks so much to Jacob Washington for joining us. And coming up here in a few minutes, we will talk to the Maize and Blue Review's Seth Berry, who was in Belleville today. And as you know, there were two players at Belleville that were heading to Michigan, and there was a lot of fanfare. And we will get Barry's thoughts on what was happening there and on the rest of National Signing Day. That's coming up straight ahead. That is around 8:15, so right around the corner. So we're not done here on the Maize and Blue Review. Stay with us. When that fires up, we'll have more recruiting talk for you coming up in a little bit.